So it's all refreshly painted. I just went through and hit the thing. Need to polish it some more, but we'll get to that later. Right now it's driver. It's good to go. But anyway, I was going to go over why I like the Duramax over the Dodge and the Ford. For these years, the new ones I don't know anything about. They all scare me because the new trucks are, well, first of all, they're $75,000, and I think I'd probably stick with Chevy just because Ford is scary. They've made too many mistakes. It's hard to go back to somebody like that. Dodge has always had problem with the rear end transmission, but I've heard that they fixed that in the new ones. But anyway, but the engine I've heard they've gotten worse on. So anyway, why would I choose a Chevy over the Ford and the Dodge? I'm not a brand specific person. I usually end up with a Chevy truck because usually it ends up working out the best for me. But I'll tell you why I did this, and we'll kind of take a look at the mods I did. Of course, I got rid of the moldings and stuff as we went around, and got some bed rail caps and stuff, new stuff inside here. Still work truck, but the reason I chose a Chevy over the Ford and over the Dodge is because the Dodge, obviously the early 5.9 was probably the best motor, diesel motor introduced to the diesel market, but the transmission and rear end were not. The Dodge transmissions, automatics, were prone to braking, and the transmission, when you pull heavy trailers and you break down somewhere, you do it once and you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to do that again. So you kind of learn from that, and the reason so the Dodge has a weak rear end. The Ford, well, you start with the weak transmission, number one. The engine, it's really hard to work on. It's I mean, the 7.3 wasn't too bad, but obviously if you watch my other videos, I've got broke pistons on the 7.3, so people go, oh, well, that's because you did this or that or whatever. Okay, whatever. No, it didn't happen. But anyway, the reason I went with the Chevy is because of the Allison tranny and the fact that Isuzu teamed up with them on the design for the engine. Now, the reason why would I say that about Isuzu? A friend of mine had a towing business, and he had Fords for towing. Then he got rid of those, and he got Chevys for towing, for the towing business. That was back in the old 6.5 days, and diesel, and they had problems with those. And he got two Isuzus, and they never did anything but oil changes on them for the next 20 years, and actually retired from the towing business because they made so much money that because they didn't have to do truck maintenance, they made so much money. So that's what influenced me towards a Chevy. Now, plus the other things were horsepower, quiet of the engine. I drove one, and it was like, I just like the way it drives. It feels like a car suspension, smoother down the road, even though it's not as tough in the front end as the Ford. Definitely not. It's pretty weak as far as the drag link system in the front end goes. But the other stuff I really enjoy about the truck. So I searched around. I would want to buy a new one. I bought a used one. Tried to find one that was good. This is my second one of these exact same pickups. My other one was white, and my GPS shorted on the dash and caught fire. So I was really unfortunate on that happened. And before the insurance actually released the truck, I had already bought this one I mean, they said it was. They said the guy says, "I'm going to total this. There's no way you're fixing it. I'm fixing it." I'm like, all right. I found this for a really good price. Not on Craigslist. I think it was somewhere. It was just on the internet. I just searched for the particular model that I was looking for. This 2003 Chevy Crew Cab 4x4, and I found this truck, and it was in Georgia. And you guys go, "What? You bought it out of Georgia?" You know, yeah, I buy stuff all the time, and it was from a dealership. So, you know, I wouldn't do it from a private party because I don't, you know, they don't have a license. You know, there's better chances that I get it from a dealership than I'm not going to get some total ridiculous undescribed lemon, you know, because they have to meet licensing guidelines. So I got this truck for a really good price, and then shipped it out here. And right when the guy says, "Oh, it's totaled out," I took my wheels and tires, not these ones, but that's my wheels and tires off of the other truck, and sold it on Craigslist and made about $4,000 total for somebody, for my dash getting burnt out, and I had $1,000 deductible, so I ended up way ahead with this truck. So, but I bought the Chevy because it's just got better bones. It has more stuff on it that works well. The problems with the Chevy are the injectors on the LB7 is definitely an issue. I've changed them. I took it to the dealer once, and I had the injectors changed under warranty, but it was 2 weeks before GM went bankrupt. So I probably got the worst of the injector line. You know, whatever they had left, all their contracts were probably null and void with all the other places they were getting them from. So they probably got them out of the, you know, archives or something, and they didn't last that long. So then I replaced them myself about 50,000 miles later, and haven't really had any issues. I had one in stick once, but that happens. Even on the Ford, sometimes they'll stick, and then you gotta, you know, make sure you change your fuel filter and put some seafoam in your fuel filter, put it back on there, run it for a minute, let it set, let the stuff just kind of clean it all out, that sort of thing. But, you know, other than that, you know, I just had normal maintenance on the Chevy. Ford, I've had oil leak after oil leak after oil leak, and you know, crappy little stupid things going wrong. The Chevy, the problem you have with these are the, you know, electronics. So, you know, get yourself a soldering station because you're going to need to take your dash out or take it into a place and have it, you know, take it out. It's really easy to take out and take it in and have it rebuilt because they go bad. The solder comes loose on the dash parts, components, and then the stepper motors go bad on the dash pieces. So that just, you know, that's the Delphi stuff. And then there's some issues with electronics. But if you get yourself a what's it called, auto ingenuity tester, you can figure out almost anything that's wrong and change it yourself, or you can take it in the shop, pay big bucks, whatever you want to do. Anyway, that's it for the Chevy review for the 2003 over the Ford and the Dodge. Why I chose it, it's just a better truck. I mean, all around. There's things that are issues on it, but when you add up the transmission problem, if you're towing all the time, the transmission is a major deal. You blow your transmission, you know, if you blow something in your engine, something happens, usually you can get over. When your transmission goes, you are stuck wherever you are, and your tow bill can be really, really, really expensive. Even if you have AAA trailer tow, and I had AAA trailers tow, and I called them up once, and they go, "Oh, we don't have service in that area." It's like, oh, so what good did that do? Canceled it. See you later. All right, talk to you in the next video.